everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Growing tired of knots, tangled up in problems, and not caring enough. Now I'm on a journey to find what's right, always telling the truth.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff Escow.
Doing bad time.
San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Ascow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome everybody to Sports World Radio. Glad everybody could be with us today. We got a jam-packed show like we do each and every day. Our freaking Friday edition of Sports World Radio. We got a lot to get to. Glad everybody could be here. Before we get started, like us on our Facebook page over there, facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also follow us on Twitter over there at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. You can listen to us on SportsWorldRadio.com as well as HonestAnswerRadio.com. And starting on Monday, you will also be able to listen to us on Good and Plenty Radio. That's right, we're going to be simulcasting on Good and Plenty Radio starting on Monday. Also, give us a call at 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. You want to get involved with the show. Skype users, head on over to Sports World Radio. Click the little Call Now button on the left-hand side, and you can be directed right to the show. Now, with all that out of the way, what do you say? Hey, we bring in our good friend, the co-host of Sports World Radio, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing good, Jeff, and welcome everybody to Sports World Radio on this Friday, April 11th, 2014. It's 6:06 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:06 p.m. on the West. Weather is very, very overcast, a little bit cloudy, and a little cool today, but
Yeah.
all in all, nice day. How's the weather out there, and how are you, Jeff, the host of Sports World Radio?
Well, as you heard, I turned off the air conditioner about 3 minutes before we went on air.
Well, hopefully it won't be too toasty in your studio.
Well, I'm hoping not. For 2 hours, that thing's got to be off for us. It's not that bad. We're in a little bit of a cool down. It's only 75 degrees, 77 degrees instead of 90 like it was the other day. So it's not too bad out here. Sunshine, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's freaking sunny San Diego. What do you expect, brother?
Yeah, what do you expect indeed? So, yeah, doing well. And we got a lot of stuff to get to for the fastest 2 hours of sports talk you'll ever hear on the internet. The first story we get to, Jeff, here's the breaking news, the AP news break. Niagara Falls is the possible home for the Buffalo Bills. Don't rule out Niagara Falls as the potential future home of the Buffalo Bills. Sources told the Associated Press that a newly formed Bills Stadium task force of public and private leaders seeking to bolster the team's long-term viability is considering sites that would put it closer to the team's Ontario fan base.
And
the point is, I was going to ask you what your thoughts would be that they could possibly make the new place the Niagara Bills. Niagara Falls Bills.
the Niagara Falls Bills? No, they're not going to. Where's Niagara Falls?
Not too far away from Ontario. I think it's because Toronto, Ontario is where they used to play. The Bills used to play like one game up there. So
What state is Niagara in?
New York State.
Okay. And what are the Bills called now?
Buffalo Bills.
And what state do they play in?
New York State.
Okay. So what do you think about the New York Bills?
I disagree with it. You already got two teams already. You got one called the New York Giants and the other one called the New York Jets.
So?
You're thinking we should have three New York teams, the New York Bills, the New York Giants, and the New York Jets?
Well, let me ask you a question. Out of those three teams, which one of them actually plays in New York?
In the state of New York, Buffalo.
There you go.
The Niagara Falls Bills.
I don't
that
like
just
that
doesn't make
Niagara.
sense.
The Niagara Falls Bills. That's too hard to say. The Niagara Falls Bills. Get the hell out of here.
Who would ever want to call their team the Niagara Falls
You.
Bills? That just doesn't make sense.
You like it, don't you? Yeah, you like it.
That's hard to say.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I don't like it one bit. It's like the Pelicans. What the hell? Come on.
Like the New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah,
Every
that's-
time I have to give an update about that Pelicans. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that neither. But what are you gonna? There's nothing I can do about it. But out of those three teams, seriously, so, as of right now, out of the Buffalo Bills, the New York Giants, and the New York Jets, which team actually plays in New York?
Buffalo Bills.
How ironic is that? That both teams down there are called the New York Giants and the New York Jets, and they play in Jersey. And the team that actually plays in New York is called the Buffalo Bills.
You know, it'd be funny to ask Chaos about that or EAJ Man about that. They live really, really close to Buffalo. Another idea is having the Bills relocate their headquarters to the University of Buffalo campus in the Erie County town of Amherst, where a new practice facility would be built and shared with the school's football team. That proposal would satisfy a long-term need for a mild American Conference program seeking to broaden its profile.
I don't like the idea that they're going to move to Niagara Falls. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah, why
If
Niagara
you're going to
Falls?
move anyway, you move closer to New York City. You don't move further away.
Yeah. Besides, they play in Orchard Park, New York.
Exactly. They play in Orchard Park, New York, which is in Buffalo, actually. But still, come on. Niagara
I
Falls.
just don't agree with this at all. The Bills are essentially locked into playing at their current home through the 2019 season because the lease features a $400 million penalty in the event the team broke. In 2020, the Bills have a one-time opportunity to opt out of the lease for about $28 million.
Yeah, and did they?
Doesn't say anything. All it says is that they got a lot of time to think it over. Toronto and Los Angeles are regarded potential suitors, possibly for the Bills to make a move to one of those places. And I don't agree with this at all. Well, it's just
LA.
like how Roger Goodell is wanting to put a football team in the continent of Europe. And now all of a sudden, if you have a football team in Canada, that's nuts.
No, it's going to be in L.A. They'll move to L.A. How about that? The L.A. Bills. There you go. Short and sweet, just like, the L.A. Bills.
Yeah, because L.A. has just been itching to get an NFL football team back.
Ralph Wilson is going flipping around in his grave right now. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, he's rolling around in his grave. There's no question about it.
He's a little peeved, man. Wow. He's a little peeved, and I would be too. That's just crazy.
Yeah, Ralph Wilson Stadium is currently undergoing $130 million in upgrades.
Yeah.
Work includes structural upgrades and adding fan and amenities.
Right, so they ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, not for about another 5 or 6
Yeah,
years.
they
and
ain't
then
going
they'll be
anywhere.
probably in a new place.
They ain't going anywhere for a while. If they're doing upgrades to that stadium, they're not going nowhere. You know that.
And the Bills in Buffalo, they've been playing a long time in that place, and I just don't understand why the Bills would even want to consider moving to Niagara Falls or going to L.A. or Toronto. It doesn't make sense. I just think that's a bad decision.
If they're doing upgrades to that stadium for the team, then they're not going nowhere. They'll be there for 5, 6, 7 more years, 8 more years. They're not going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
They're dying to get a team in L.A., man. And now down here in San Diego, there's all sorts of talk of the Chargers getting their own stadium here in downtown San Diego. How about that?
That would help.
That would help the Chargers out tremendously. Are you kidding me? Otherwise, they'll become the L.A. Chargers in half of a second.
Yeah, or maybe the L.A. Rams. Maybe the Rams move back to L.A. and they become the Los Angeles Rams.
Hey, do you know? I saw something on ESPN last night that cracked me up so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were talking. They were talking football, and they said that Jerry Jones said, "Oh, it's okay that we've been 8-8 the last 3 seasons. At least we have the highest TV ratings." Oh my God.
Oh, darn you, Jeff. You stole that right from me. He says Cowboys missed the playoffs, but they're the most popular TV show. Jerry Jones doesn't need no stinking playoffs. His Dallas Cowboys, of course, have gone 8-8 the last 3 years, missed the playoffs. He goes, as you know, the Cowboys have not gone to the playoffs in several years, Jones said during a press conference at which it was announced that his AT&T Stadium,
How about that?
we call it Jerry World, would host the 50th Annual Academy of Country Awards next year.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, at least the Cowboys have the highest. At least they have the highest TV ratings." Oh God. So you're okay. So Jerry Jones, you're okay with mediocrity then, I guess, huh?
He goes, quote, "We have not yet. We are the most popular TV show there is on television. We led all teams in TV ratings. We led 24 of the last top 35 shows were
Who
NFL
cares?
games. And anytime your Cowboys play, they're up there at the top and leading."
Who cares? They stink.
He's probably thinking, well, I'm just trying to bring some popularity to the Dallas area. And on that note, we'll finish up more on this story after this commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Escal. We just finished the first segment of the show. You can listen to us at sportsworldradio.com. Hang out with us in the chat room over at Spreaker.com. If you don't have a Spreaker account, it's free. Head on over to Spreaker.com. Sign up for a free account and come on over and hang out in the chat room with us over there on Sports World Radio's page. If you're listening to us on sportsworldradio.com, you want to get involved with the show and you have Skype, hit the little red button on the left-hand side. That'll direct you right to the show. You can give us a holler and call in and ask us any questions you want. And if you don't have Skype, 619-663-3715. 619-663-3715 is the freaking number to give us a call. All right, Sean, what's the next topic, buddy?
We were still staying on the story with Jerry Jones. He said, look, he said the Cowboys, I sent you that story from the encyclopedia man who gave this to me, and also from Frank, and I thank Frank Sprankle for that. He goes, look, we led all teams and TV ratings. He goes, what causes that is creating more aura, creating some excitement. We want to use that as best we can to make this award show the greatest ever. So Jerry Jones is trying to feel like, okay, Cowboys don't make the playoffs 3 straight years, but we can still bring popularity to the Dallas, Texas area and have more sporting events. He goes, he's probably like been saying, look, we've had the NBA All-Star Game, we had the Final Four here, we had the Super Bowl here. Let's just keep on adding it and make Dallas the biggest star and the biggest hit and be the top city of the world.
You know what I say to that?
What? He probably would say, well, what's the matter with it, Jeff? What's the matter with trying to bring some excitement to the area?
Jerry Jones, are you the owner of the Dallas Cowboys?
He goes, yeah, I've been there since February of '89.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you were the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care since when. Are you the owner of the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I'm owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Do you like living in mediocrity?
Yeah.
You do? Because your Dallas Cowboys are living in mediocrity forever, and your team stinks. And I think you're concentrating on too much other crap and not your Dallas Cowboys. If you would concentrate solely on your Dallas Cowboys, maybe you would win a championship instead of ending each season at 8-8 and missing the playoffs.
Well, I'm working on making this team a very good football team.
You're not working hard enough. You're concentrating on too much other crap.
Well, what do you expect I do? You have to give it some time.
No, give it some time? How much time do you need? You've already been 3 years in, 4 years in, 5 years in. When are you going to make the damn playoffs, sir?
And then he probably would just say, click, I'm done with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be all over him in 2 seconds. You know that, man.
And then he probably would say, then I'll launch an all-out protest on Sports World Radio and boot the show off the air. That's probably what he would do.
There's no way you can boot my show off the air. Lots of luck with that, my friend. Bring it. It's just unbelievable. I can't stand this. I could play with him all day long if he let me. All right, let's go to another subject, please.
Okay, another story that we have. The NFL, again, we stay here. The center, Alex Mack, signs the offer sheet with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Browns are on the clock with Alex Mack. Cleveland's Pro Bowl center signed a 5-year, $42 million contract offer sheet with the Jacksonville Jaguars on Friday. Browns, who have received official paperwork on the deal, are expected to match it and keep one of the best players. That's a pretty good deal for the Jaguars, but there's a lot of holes they got to fill. There's a lot of areas they got to fill to make their team legitimate and a team that can contend for the playoffs.
Are you really talking to me about the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yeah.
Knowing
how I got my encyclopedia man.
Knowing how I feel about them, you're really talking to me about them?
Well, Maurice Jones-Drew, you don't forget that name.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone, and the Jaguars are trying to build, and
with
this Mac guy, it's the way to go.
Did he go to Oakland?
I haven't heard anything about where Maurice Jones-Drew went to.
I believe I heard he went to Oakland.
Yes, he went to the That's right. He went to the Raiders.
I believe he went to the Raiders along with, whatchamacallit, the old Houston quarterback. What's his name?
Matt Schaub.
Matt Schaub, yeah. He's over there too, ain't he?
Yeah, I'd have to ask my encyclopedia man to do some research and see where Maurice Jones-Drew is playing.
I'm
if he
telling
signed
you.
the Raiders or not. He can always take a look.
I think I'm right.
Yeah.
I think I'm right. I might be mistaken, but I'm never wrong.
Yeah.
Remember that. Now, see, I find it interesting that you, knowing you as I do, as a Red Sox fan, a diehard Red Sox fan, see, Josh did confirm they are both with the Raiders. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, buddy. Yep.
Knowing you the way I know you as a Red Sox fan, I'm surprised you didn't start the show off with the Red Sox-Yankee game, especially since what was going on last night.
Well, I didn't want to be like I'm trying to avoid being a homer.
You can't, Sean. You can't avoid that.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure we can come up with different stories because there's a lot of other stuff going on rather than Red Sox or Yankees.
Wow. I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
This is a sports show. This is why we call it Sports World Radio. Darn it.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that before. That's great.
I guess if you want to get into that, we can. I just thought we could mix it up a little bit with NFL. I had that story from last night in there, but I wanted to save it at a later time.
Okay. You want to save it for a later time? All you got to do is say, hey, Jeff, we're going to talk about it later. Shut up and let's move on.
Yeah, so back to the NFL. Alex Mack signing the deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Again, back to the Jacksonville Jaguars he goes. Again, he knows that I can't stay. Sean, it doesn't matter what Jacksonville Jaguars do. Hey, Dr. Myth, it doesn't matter. You know why?
Why?
Because they're going to stink anyway. That's why. So it doesn't matter what they do.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm just getting what the encyclopedia man gives me, and then I'm having to go and read the stories and figure out what we're doing here. This is the fastest 2 hours of
You
sports.
also decide what goes on the air, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacksonville, they don't go on the air.
Yeah, because you're so sick of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
How does the Jacksonville Jaguars team that stinks gets on more TV than the Giants, who were better the year before? I'm not talking.
Right. You can talk with Roger Goodell about that.
I don't get it. I can't wait to see the schedules come out. I know the Chargers' schedule for their 4-game preseason came out, and they're playing teams that they play in the regular season. So it's not really a big surprise this year. So it's no big deal. But it's going to be interesting because, like Dr. Myth said, not Dr. Myth, because the Giants suck. Screw you, Josh. Like Josh said earlier, the AFC West with Schaub and MJD over there in Oakland now, that just moved the AFC West up a little bit. I don't know if Oakland can compete now, I guess, huh, with Schaub as quarterback?
Oakland can compete, but I still say that AFC West is all going to go right through Denver. I still say the Broncos have a little bit better chance than the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Raiders. That AFC West, I can't wait to see how that turns out. And the Chiefs, you got to remember, they were up in that AFC West division, but when they lost both games to Denver last year, that ended their chances of winning the AFC West division, and then they stumbled, and then they folded and choked in the AFC wildcard round against the Colts.
Okay, so, yeah, no, you're right, Sean. You're right. It's going to be interesting. And Sean, you say in the chat room the Giants and the Chargers suck, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yeah?
Between the Patriots and the Giants, who won the last Super Bowl?
Oh, you had to hit me with that.
Okay.
I still have nightmares from those 2 stinking Super Bowls.
Okay, so you just sit there and shut up.
I can say all I want. Who has 3 Super Bowls and who has 2 Super Bowls between Brady and Manning? Yeah, I rest my case.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And Manning just had left ankle surgery, right? Was it left or was it right? Well, he just had ankle surgery, and he can't run for 6 weeks, which will be okay because he'll be back in time for training camp anyway. So it's not going to be no big deal, even though they do have a new offensive coordinator and a new quarterbacks coach.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh says, hey, Sean, Bears are going to be way better than the Patriots.
You just wait and see. Keep talking, because you'll be eating a lot of your words.
Oh, God. Here we go. Oh, he evades me. All right, so what do you got for me next, buddy?
No, I'm not. Now they're giving it to me, and I'm giving
What
it
are they?
back.
What is he giving it to you?
Dr. Myth.
Look, screw the Patriots. Sean's milk and wine mix. Well, yeah, he's the only person I know that drinks red and wine and milk together.
I'm just trying to expand that drinking horizon, people.
Well, not according to Laura.
Well, Laura isn't here. Not probably till next Wednesday. You never know. Let's see. Sean Heath has ban lifted by the NBA, and I'll see if we can get this in. We can talk more after this commercial break here soon. Public address announcer Sean Heath will be shouting into his courtside microphone at American Airlines Center during the Mavericks' regular season home finale Saturday night, after all. The NBA rescinded its 2-game suspension for Heath, according to a source, opting to fine the Mavericks. How about this, Jeff? $25,000 as punishment for Heath's tweets criticizing the officiating in the wake of the Dallas loss of 122 to 120 to the Golden State Warriors on April 1st.
So the guy who's the PA announcer for the Dallas Mavericks, correct?
Yeah, the public address announcer for the Dallas Mavericks.
The PA announcer got fined for tweeting how bad the referees were in the game.
Yeah, maybe Mark Cuban was kind of wanting that to happen because you know how Mark Cuban feels about the NBA officials.
Mark Cuban's paying the fine, right?
Yeah. Well, Mark Cuban says whenever he gets fined, he's looking at it as a business.
Yeah, well, Mark Cuban, I'm sure Mark Cuban doesn't mind his PA announcer doing that. After all, his PA announcer is sitting on the floor watching the game.
That's right.
He sees everything. Okay? Yes, he is a little biased, but come on. Hey, we'll talk more about this when we come back from a quick commercial break. Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Like a refugee. That's right. Welcome back to Sports World Radio. The host, Jeff Escow, Sean Mann with me, like usual as the co-host, here each and every day, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. on the West, 6 p.m. on the East. And if you live in the Central,
It's very simple. If you can't figure it out for yourself in the Central, you got serious problems. So figure it out for yourself.
if you can't figure it out for yourself, then we don't want you.
Yeah. Oh, careful. We got an encyclopedia man who lives on the Central Time Zone.
Yeah, but he can figure it out.
Are you sure about that? He's
Yes.
a Bears fan.
He can figure it. Even though he's a Bears and even though he's
Bulls and a Blackhawks
Okay,
fan.
well, let me even though he's a Chicago person, he can figure it out.
Yeah, he can, and so can Frank, and so can Nick.
Yeah, those guys are all Central Time. They're able to figure it out. And they're not some of the brightest people in the world, but they figure it out. You know? Okay, so before we went to break, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the Dallas Mavericks public address announcer who got fined $5,000. Actually, the Mavericks, as punishment for Heath's tweets criticizing the officiating in the wake of the Dallas 122-120 overtime loss to the Warriors.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised if Mark Cuban didn't say so, like said to the guy, if you want to tweet something, go ahead. I don't care. You know?
Mark Cuban has been fined
paying
the
the
most as an
fine.
NBA owner.
Because he's paying the fine, ain't he?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Mark Cuban knows very well that he has been fined more than any other NBA owner. I think it's been 17 or 19 times total that he's been fined. But Mark Cuban says, you know what? It doesn't bother me because I always look at it as a business, and I'm a billionaire, and I've got the money to pay for it.
Doesn't bother. Yeah, I know. It's a fine.
It's a business to
He
him.
doesn't care. He needs a tax deduction somehow. That's why he says it's a business, because it's a tax deduction, man.
The league office acknowledged in a statement the next day that Warriors center Jermaine O'Neal should have been called for goaltending when he blocked a potential go-ahead shot by Mavs guard Monte Ellis with 16 seconds remaining in overtime. So there was a lot of complaining and frustration after the Mavericks lost the game. And you know why it was so big is because Dallas is battling it out with a few teams for the 7th and 8th spot in the Western Conference.
That's crazy.
And for the Mavericks, they know perfectly well that whoever they go up against, it will not be very, very easy
they're gonna
for
be
them.
out. It's either going to be OKC or San Antonio.
Yeah, and I think if you're Dallas, I think if you're smart, you probably want number 7 seed because you're the 8th and you play San Antonio. There's no way you're going to be able to beat the Spurs. They lost last night 109-100, and the Mavericks have got swept in the season series against the Spurs. So if you're Mark Cuban and the Mavericks, you're smart enough and say, we need to get number 7 seed. We've got 2 games left in the regular season. We need to be really smart and finish up strong. But if you're the Mavericks, you're just focusing about just getting into the playoffs. That Western Conference is just loaded. And I know, Jeff, that we have our NBA elimination pick, and we'll get that in the second hour of the show.
Yeah, we got that, and this is our last week. We're going to be coming down to our final team that we're going to be picking. And it's going to be very interesting. And even if they end up playing OKC, they're not going to freaking win. So it doesn't matter who they play.
You're right there, Dr. Myth. Cuban must love wasting his billions on fine. Oh, he doesn't mind. He's got the money. He's a billionaire. He's been the owner of the Dallas Mavericks since 2000, and he's ripped NBA officials so bad over his time as Mavericks owner.
It's interesting, ain't it?
Yeah.
He loves paying the fines, man. It's tax deductible. He doesn't mind.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't mind at all. Not one bit. I was sitting here looking at an article because the Masters is going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at that right now. It's ongoing.
Yeah, I have it on my TV right now as we're talking. But the famous golfer John Daly,
yeah,
he's not playing in the golf tournament this weekend. You know what he's doing?
What?
He's in Augusta. He's in Georgia. He's hanging out at a Hooters in his trailer, selling his John Daly approved merchandise and food stuff. He's selling his John Daly approved merchandise and his food stuff out of his trailer in a parking lot at Hooters in Augusta over there by the tournament. How about that?
Wow.
Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty freaking wacko. John Daly doing John Daly stuff. That's what John Daly does, man. He does whatever the hell he wants. Because I'm playing in a tournament. Hell, I'll go down there and sell my crap out of Hooters and have a good time.
That's nuts.
It's pretty crazy.
So
huh?
you got John Daly's, with in his trailer not participating, and you got Tiger Woods who's not going to be able to go to the Masters because of that injury.
Yep, he's out. And you want to know something? Phil might not even make the cut.
That's what it says. Phil Mickelson could miss the Masters cut for the first time in 17 years.
How about that? He's +5. I think the cut's going to be +4.
And I picked him to win the Masters, and I know you did too, Jeff, because you told me to pick a candidate who I thought would win the Masters.
Well, I'm looking at the leaderboard right now, and Bubba Watson shot a 4-under today. He's -7. And John Seaton shot a 4-under, and he is 4-under. Jonas Blix, Thomas Bjorn, Adam Scott, Freddie Couples at -2. He's on the front page. He's tied for 5th. It's pretty crazy, man. A lot of Freddie Couples is the elder statesman in that group. Everybody else is in their 20s except for John Sen. Who's in his 40s. And then you got another one in there. Where is he? I don't see him on the first. Oh, Jimmy Walker. Jimmy Walker's an elder statesman too, but nobody's heard of him. And he's tied for 5th as well. It's going to be an interesting weekend. For me, I like watching the Masters. In fact, I have it on right now. I'm watching Jordan Spieth right now. He just made an eagle on number 12, I think it was.
Yeah, it's the Masters. It's anybody's game, and it depends on who's going to be making the putts and who has good tee-offs, and it should, in order to get that green jacket. And Watson actually right now, Bubba Watson takes the second round lead, so it should be a great weekend as always for the Masters. And then the next one will be the U.S. Open coming up in June.
Yeah, next one's up in June. We'll see if Tiger will be good for that one. But it's it's interesting. Adam Scott, who's the defending Masters champ, not playing so well. Barbara Smith won it 2 years ago. We'll see what's going on. It's gonna be a fun freaking weekend for me because that's what I'm gonna be watching all weekend. Basketball just ended. Now it's hockey. Now it's golf time.
Well, the next story we get to, Jeff, and I know you wanted me to talk about this, and I kind of saved this later on because we had other stories to get to.
Bring it.
Last night, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees played in one of the best rivalries in sports. This is the first of 19 meetings. And yesterday, an odd situation last night happened. Michael Pineda pitched 4 innings with a dark substance on the lower palm of his pitching hand, and that was not dirt. That was pine tar, and the Red Sox did not say anything, and the umpires did not say anything. And the biggest question of all is who is to be blamed for not saying anything with the pine tar?
Okay, now I'm going to bounce it right back at you because you're the Boston Red Sox fan. Who's to blame? Huh? Who's to blame there, Charlie Brown?
This is a good question, too.
Well, I'm
going to say the umpires are to be blamed for this. Because,
why? They're not allowed to say anything unless they're called on it.
Yeah.
So how can you blame the umpire? Huh? See, that's a true Boston Red Sox fan response, you homer. I can't blame my team, so I gotta blame either the umpires or the Yankees. So I'll blame the umpires. Umpires can't do nothing.
I've been getting sick and tired of them making a big deal about this all day. From the Boston sports radio stations or New York sports radio stations. Come on, for Christ's sake, okay? This is 10 games into the regular season. It's early, and everybody has been caught taking pine tar before. In my opinion, if this is becoming such an issue for Major League Baseball, then maybe Bud Selig should be the one to address the issue. Maybe he should say something about having a little suspension. Look what he's done with steroids. I mean, this is like Mark Cuban said something too, and I know how we feel about how Cuban sticks his nose into other leagues like he does when he thinks in 10 years the NFL will deteriorate. But I do agree with him that he has said that this is becoming more of the Bud Selig Major League Baseball league because Bud Selig is the one who puts the rules in. Again, like I'm saying, if it's a rule, then Major League Baseball should do something about it, okay? I know people are saying, well, Lester and Buchholz did it last year. Lester in the World Series. Buchholz in May of last year. Other baseball players. George Brett, Sammy Sosa. I don't know what they should do. They should do something.
Why? Everybody does it. It's part of baseball.
Because it's a rule that they put in place. It's a rule that needs to be followed that you can't be using pine tar.
If everybody does it, what the heck?
Yeah, and I think they're making a little something into a big thing here. It's just a
I
little
know why
thing.
you're pissed. I know why you're pissed is because your pitcher got busted for doing it. That's why you're pissed.
Here it is. MLB Rule 802 states that a pitcher may not, quote, apply a foreign substance of any kind to the ball. Rule 802B states a pitcher may not have on his person or in his possession any foreign substance for such infraction of this section. And then B, the penalty shall be immediate ejection from the game. In addition, the pitcher shall be suspended automatically.
So why didn't the Red Sox say anything?
I'm thinking, I know I got to give an update here. I'm thinking it's mainly because they probably realized that, look, this is the rivalry. Everybody's kind of been actually, can we get to an update and I can continue on with this?
Finish your thought first, and then we'll do the update.
Okay, I'm just saying I think it's because all heck would have broke loose between both teams. You know about the brawls and all the stuff from the past.
So, I mean, you got to point it out to the umpire and then let the umpire do his job.
Yeah.
If it's a rule, you got to point it out. I was listening to the broadcast, and they were saying the reason why the Red Sox aren't pointing it out is because it happened to them, and they lost a guy, and they don't,
Yeah.
They were caught cheating once before, and then, so that's why they're not saying nothing. Everybody sees it, and the umpires can't do anything about it unless somebody points it out on the other team.
Yeah,
That's the rule.
That is true.
That's the rule. Okay, let's go to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. For all your Keurig products, head on over to KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. You need coffee, you need tea, you need a coffee machine, you need something to hold your coffee in? Head on over to KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Brewing perfection, one cup at a time. That's KeuregCoffeeMachines.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff, and welcome, everybody. It's 46 minutes past the hour. It's 6:46 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:46 p.m. on the West, Friday, April 11th, 2014. We're going to start in the National Hockey League. We got 7 games on this Friday night. The Blackhawks at the Capitals. That game can be seen on the NBC Sports Network, known as what we call the Versus Network. The Hurricanes at the Red Wings. Blue Jackets at the Lightning. Islanders at the Devils. Blues at the Stars, Jets at Flames, and the Avalanche at the Sharks. That game, the Avalanche-Sharks game, is the second for that doubleheader on the NBC Sports Network. Tomorrow in National Hockey League, there will be 9 games that we got right now. We got the Sabres taking on the Bruins tomorrow, Flyers at the Penguins, Rangers at the Canadiens, Maple Leafs at Senators, Blue Jackets at Panthers, Blackhawks at Predators, Sharks at Coyotes, Canucks at Oilers, and the Ducks at Kings. In the NBA, here's what we got coming up for you right now for tonight's games. There's 13 of them. Tonight, we've got the Wizards at the Magic, the Knicks at the Raptors, Bobcats at the Celtics, Hawks at the Nets, Pacers at the Heat. And that could be the Eastern Conference Final match there. That's a definite playoff preview. Pistons at the Bulls, 76ers at Grizzlies, Rockets at Timberwolves, Pelicans at Thunder, Cavaliers at Bucks, Suns at Spurs, Trailblazers at Jazz, and the other game, it'll be the Warriors taking on the Lakers. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Sports World Radio. I'm the host, Jeff Escow. With me, like always, Sean Mann, the Update Man. Coming into the last segment of the first hour of the show. That's right, I said first hour because we do 2 full hours here at Sports World Radio every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
please figure that out for yourself.
And even if you don't, who really gives a flying noogie? Hey, if you want to get in touch with the show, give us a call at 619-663-3715, 619-663-3715. And if you have Skype, head on over to Sports World Radio, click the little Call Now button on the left-hand side of the page there, and you will be able to contact us via Skype. Now, with all that crap out of the way, what do you say we get back to what we were talking about before we went to the update, which was the Red Sox and the Yankees, and why the Red Sox called out the Yankees for cheating?
Well, like I said, I really think the Red Sox did exactly what they had to do. Be smart about it. Look, okay, a few pitchers got busted for that. Okay, Buchholz, Lester, they did it last year. So they probably were saying, why should we make a big deal? Even David Ortiz last night after the game said, hey, look, everybody's done it. We shouldn't make a big deal. It's early in the season. We've only played 10 games into the season. Why make a big deal about it? That's a good point. I was listening to WEEI 93.7 on my iPhone today, and a couple of the Boston sports radio stations, Jeff, said the same thing, that they shouldn't be making a big deal about it. Just focus on baseball. It's a long season. It's only 10 games in, and people are making a little issue into a big issue. Forget about it.
I'm shocked.
Shocked about what? I'm just stating an opinion, is that it's that people need to forget about it and move on.
I'm shocked. Because when it happens to the Boston Red Sox picture and they get called on it, you're going to be pissed. That's why. That's why. I'm telling you. When the Red Sox get called on it and a guy gets thrown out of the game and he gets suspended, you're going to be pissed off. And remember,
yeah, I will be disgusted.
So why aren't you
move on their part? But there's not a whole lot I can do about it.
Why aren't you disgusted now? This is, you know something? This is for something you to get mad at, not for them losing a game early in the season. Unbelievable you are. Wow.
It's called being opinionated.
I
Jeff.
never, ever expected that from you. I thought you were going to come in here in a house of fire and be all pissed off.
Now, why would I be upset about something that's like a little thing? It's not. It doesn't. It's people are making too much of this.
A
okay?
little thing.
If pine tar is becoming a serious issue for baseball players because other players have done it and got busted for it, George Brett, Sammy Sosa, all the other players, then Major League Baseball has a serious problem, and they need to address it. And it comes to the man who's commissioner of baseball. Who? Bud Selig. Bud Selig, of course, has not done a very good job as MLB commissioner.
It's an illegal substance. It's not allowed to be used. As far as I'm concerned, why does the referee have to listen? Why does if the referee sees it, he should call it, or the umpire, if he sees it, he should call it. He doesn't have to wait for a team to come and tell him to go and call it. That's a bunch of bull crap there.
John Farrell didn't even notice what was going on with that controversial incident until like the fourth inning of last night's game.
Shows you how much he's paying attention to the game, doesn't it?
Well, when you're a manager, you've got a big responsibility. You got to make sure it's all about situations and plays and making sure that the men who are on base are running the bases well, or making sure you're telling your hitters to be patient and at the plate.
How can you not see that? How can you not see that?
I'm sure the Red Sox realize, look, we got busted for it.
Especially the Red Sox. They got busted for it. Wouldn't you want to think that they want to bust their rivals?
Yeah, I'm sure they do want to bust their rivals, but
so why didn't they call them?
Am I angry and upset about it? Yeah, but I'm getting over it. We have to move on. It's a long season. It's early.
I'm more angry than you. That's ridiculous. They should have called him on it last night. He should be suspended and he shouldn't be pitching. That's what you want because that helps your Red Sox. What's the matter with you? You should be going bananas.
I did. I was upset about it, but I have to get over it. Fans have to learn to move on and stuff. That's the thing. That's what it comes down to. I was angry that that it wasn't addressed and that they didn't take care of it. But move on, quit making a little something into big thing because other players have done it. And if other players have done it, then I'm saying Bud Selig is the one that needs to address this issue. Wow. And then players should get an automatic suspension just like they do if they get caught with performance-enhancing drugs.
Wow, that's not what I expected from you at all. I expected you to be freaking fit to be tied.
Well, I'm angry about it, too. I'm disgusted about the fact that the guy was getting away with it. And what makes me angry about the Yankees, is the fact that Joe Girardi lied to the media last night and said that he didn't see anything on Pineda's hand. And Pineda was saying that he was using dirt, and it was not dirt at all, and that was clearly pine tar. And I was angry and disgusted because the Yankees lied about it. It's typical of them to do that. They get away with so much crap, and that's what gets me disgusted with the New York Yankees organization.
Now that's the guy I wanted to hear.
And I even said this too. The Yankees should be ashamed of themselves that they did not admit the truth and that they get away with it and they lie about it. Just like that little Jeffrey Mayer boy. They thought he was such a beloved, popular little boy because he stole a home run ball away from the Baltimore Orioles. I'm saying the Yankees need to be disciplined about this, and it's not right for them to lie in front of the public because we all saw it. We all saw the replay last night.
It doesn't matter
We all saw it on TV, and I cannot believe no disciplinary action is going to be provided
because nobody called it.
Yeah, nobody called it, and that's what they said today on ESPN is that there won't be any disciplinary action.
Right, because nobody called them out on it.
Yeah, and I know other Red Sox fans on Facebook were talking about why the Red Sox didn't, go to the mound and make a little protest about it.
Nobody called them out on it. So, I mean, if you don't call them out on it, see, that's the stupid thing right there. If a manager doesn't call them out on it to the umpire, then the umpire can't do anything. I don't buy that. If the umpire sees it, the umpire should be able to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, Jiminy Cricket's sakes, the umpire is the umpire. It's like the referee during a basketball game. If you see something, you call it. Right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So what the heck, man? That I don't understand at all. Why the umpire doesn't have the power to just call it if he sees it. How can you not see that freaking thing? You know?
And what's so amazing, too, is all of the attention yesterday before this whole incident happened was focused on Ellsbury, because Ellsbury played for my team, the Red Sox, and then he went and signed the 7-year deal with New York in December of last year, and the whole attention was focused on him. And then after this incident happened, it went right to the Pine Tar incident.
Well, and I bet you Ellsbury likes that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Because it takes the emphasis away from him. You know what I'm saying?
The media was so focused on him and how he was feeling about playing his former team and about he said he had 7 great years. He enjoyed it. And today he's expected to get his World Series ring from John Farrell and from Ben Cherington, which I think was very, very classy on the Red Sox part. And, of course, it still makes me sick to see him in pinstripes. That still makes me sick.
Homer.
Homer?
Homer.
No way.
That's what I'm going to call you from now on, Homer.
Wait a minute. I like Schmedley better.
I don't think I'm going to call you Sean anymore. I think I'm just going to call you Homer.
Sean is a nice name, and I really like it. And on top of that note, we got to go to commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio, second hour of the show. I said second hour because we go 2 hours here on Sports World Radio every Monday through Friday now. So join us and have some fun. In the second hour, the first thing we're going to do in the second hour of the show is we're going to finish up our NBA elimination game. We've been eliminating teams all season long to come down to our final team that we're going to root for. Could be different. We don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be very, very interesting to see who the final team is that I'm going to be rooting for and to see who the final team that Sean will be rooting for. Now, earlier today, Sean and I did do the interview with Harold Letterman, HBO's boxing judge Harold Letterman. The only problem is I had a little technical difficulties, And my end, my voice, is nowhere to be found on the recording. So you don't hear my questions, but you hear Harold's answers. And Sean asks a question, you hear Sean, but you don't hear me. So I'm going to work on it this weekend, fix it, and then I'm going to play it on Monday's show. This way, you guys will just hear the answers of the questions that I ask him. So I'll be able to stop it and say, the next question I asked Harold was this, and then I'll play his answer, and then we'll go on from there, and that's how we're going to do the interview. So we're going to play that interview on Monday in the second half of the show, so at least Nicholas can even hear it as well. So what do you say we get on with the NBA elimination game, my friend?
All righty. Sounds like a plan. Here we are 4 minutes after the second hour. Yeah, today is the NBA elimination pick. As I remember correctly, I have 2 teams left, and I have 1 team left that I have to eliminate, and I will be picking that team to go all the way to win it.
Yes, you will. How about that?
I'm ready to go whenever you are, Jeff. Should I go first to tell you who I'm eliminating?
Yeah, why don't you go first and let me know who you're eliminating?
Well, this was a very tough decision. I had Indiana, Oklahoma City. I'm going to go with the Pacers and knock them out. Right now, the Pacers are looking like a team that we know is going to be in the playoffs, but they are not finishing up strong. And Miami could very well overtake Indiana. And I really thought for a while, Jeff, Indiana was going to take this Eastern Conference and run away with it, but they have let Miami just hang and hang and hang. You can't do that.
Yeah, so with you knocking out the Pacers, that officially eliminates every team in the Eastern Conference.
And that means my team I'm picking to win it all.
Hold on. Don't say nothing because I have to eliminate my team.
Nope. No, don't worry.
And once I eliminate my team, I have 2 teams to pick from. I am eliminating, and I really don't want to do this. Okay, you know what? I'm changing my mind. I am eliminating the Oklahoma Thunder.
Oh. Wow, Jeff, you're taking out the Thunder? Are you kidding me?
I'm taking out the Thunder.
Why are you taking out Oklahoma City?
I'm taking out Oklahoma City because I am.
All right.
Because I am. So that means, right? And I'm pretty proud of it. I kind of like it. That means that I am rooting for the San Antonio Spurs to win the NBA championship. And that means Sean is rooting for...
I'm rooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA Finals.
And he's rooting for the OKC. So we're rooting for 2 different teams, but they happen to be in the West. So if they come down to facing each other in the Western Finals, it's going to be a fun little 7 games, isn't it, my friend?
It will be, and this is just going to be perfect for the NBA Western Conference if those 2 teams meet, because San Antonio and OKC, they've had some playoff history, and I do remember the Thunder did beat, back in 2012, San Antonio in 6 games.
Yeah, but the way San Antonio's been playing lately, and they've been playing pretty good. Oklahoma's been playing pretty good. I thought I was going to pick the Thunder, but I changed my mind in the last. I just can't go against the elder statement. I think they're going to win it this year. I think San Antonio's going to win it this year. I really do. So I'm going with San Antonio.
Well, I remember last year you and I both picked San Antonio, and the Spurs, I had them as a possibility, but I have to tell you, San Antonio, since they lost in that 7-game NBA Finals to the Miami Heat, they're on like a mission this year. They're trying to feel like put the bad misery about what happened last year behind us and come back, because Duncan, Ginobili, and Greg Popovich, they're like on a mission to win it all this year.
Yeah, I know. And I think if they do win it, I think at least Duncan and Ginobili retire.
Yeah, and my big point is that is it possible to have a rematch of the NBA Finals between San Antonio and Miami? Now, I know I eliminated San Antonio the season, but it's possible. We'll see. There's a lot of good NBA Final predictions with the NBA playoffs starting a week from tomorrow.
Actually, what I'd like to see is San Antonio and Indiana in the finals.
Spurs and
Pacers.
That'd be a good matchup.
Yeah, because it'd be a little bit easier, I think, for San Antonio. Just a little bit, to win that thing.
Yeah, the Western Conference, whoever wins it, I really think whoever it is, it's going to be the Western Conference, whatever team it is winning it, because there's just too many powers in that Western Conference and a lot of tough teams.
Man, I'm getting smoked again in my fantasy baseball league. Jeez Louise, man. What the hell is going on here? I'm not getting no points from nobody, man. It's ridiculous, dude. I'm getting smoked all over the place. Look, I got unbelievable, man. Unstinking believable. I'm getting smoked everywhere. I'm losing right now 397 to 139. I'm stinking up this joint. Why am I even bothered playing?
It's still a long fantasy baseball season, Jeff. You never know. A lot of things can change.
I don't even know why.
I was glad I actually won my first game. I don't think I've ever won an opener in fantasy baseball in the years I played with you.
I'm freaking. I'm looking like I'm going down to be 0-2. I'm going to try and lose every game, I think.
Well, you know what happened? It was that MLB fantasy draft we had a few weeks ago, and then people snuck in there and took your players.
I know, the rat bastards, man. Who told them that they can join? Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Sons of bitches.
I didn't say anything.
Unbelievable.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting smoked. I'm losing to Switchback Rodeo 9. Getting killed, man. 397 to 139. Unbelievable. Freaking ridiculous, man. None of my players are even playing today. Look at this, man. All my players are sitting out. It's ridiculous. Hey, look at all these players sitting out. I got more players sitting out than I do starting. Oh, I got to get him in there. Where is he playing shortstop? Oh, I'll put him as a utility guy. Oh, man. My luck, he'll be knocked out. Unbelievable. I can't even get him in the game.
Hey, Jeff, you ready for another story?
Yeah, what do you got for me, pal?
The MLB executive thinks that games should be shortened to 7 innings is wrong. Here's what it is. In a subscriber-only post to ESPN.com, Buster Olney quotes, a team executive thinks Major League Baseball should shorten its games to 7 innings. He goes, quote, here we go. The games are often played too slowly, he noted. The audience of Major League Baseball is aging, with polls indicating that the youngest generation expects faster and fastest in what is consumes. At the same time, the executive said teams are struggling to find enough good pitching, and at the same time, the number of injuries is skyrocketing. Jeff, do you think we should move baseball innings from 9 innings to 7 innings? What do you think?
No.
And I would agree with you there. I don't think it's the right move at all. Why do we want to, Bud Selig does that.
What am I watching? A bunch of kids play T-ball?
Or what are we watching here? College baseball? Because in college and softball, they usually play 7 innings. In Major League Baseball, and all the times I've watched it, it's always been 9 innings.
It's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
You hope Bud Selig doesn't do that.
Moves it from 9 to 7?
Yeah.
It does that. I'm not watching baseball. I'm done.
Pitchers facing fewer batters would likely expend more energy per pitch than they currently do, so it's tough to argue it'd keep them safe from arm trouble. After all, closers like Parnell threw 1 inning per outing, and still get hurt at the time.
Oh my God. What is he? He's turning it in. See, Roger Goodell is turning the NFL into the NFL flag football, and now Bud Selig is turning Major League Baseball into freaking T-baseball.
Or like college baseball.
7 innings. Why don't you I tell you what, why don't you make it 7 innings and let them use aluminum bats? Holy moly. 7, you're crazy, dude.
That's nuts indeed.
He does that. That changes the Hall of Fame. That changes everything. You can't do that.
Yeah, Bud Selig would be so stupid enough if he did that, because then he's doing exactly what Roger Goodell is doing, and there's been a lot of things we've disagreed with Bud Selig.
He does that. I'm not watching baseball no more. I'm done. Finished. Finito. Good night, Irene. Padres are playing the Detroit Tigers here tonight.
Oh, yeah, interleague play, and I know Jeff is how he feels about interleague play.
Yeah, I hate it. But it gives me a chance to see the Detroit Tigers play here in San Diego. I wanted to go to the game and pay $5 and just go to the game, you know?
But it's just, like, going back to it, though, I wish you could have gone, though, because of the $5 if you had it. But just going back to it, though, the idea of moving Major League Baseball games to 7 innings, not right at all. Just keep it the way it is. 9 innings, come on.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Don't push it to 7 innings. Please don't push it to 7 innings. Hey, on that note, we're going to run to a quick break. You're listening to Sports World Radio on SportsWorldRadio.com.
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, welcome back to Sports World Radio. I'm Jeff Escow, with me like always, Sean Man, the update man. How's everybody doing today? Glad you could be hanging out with us here for the 2 hours that we do each and every day here. It's our last day of the week. Hope everybody has a great weekend. What's your next freaking subject you got for me there, Mr. Sean?
Okay, the next story we talk about, and it's 17 minutes past the hour. Let's see. The NFL preseason schedule out, as Jeff was talking about with the NFL. Jeff, are you thinking that the NFL should reduce the number of games from maybe 4 games to 2 games?
For what? Preseason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Why, are they going to add more games to the regular schedule?
I have not heard anything about that.
If they don't add regular games to the schedule, then just leave it the way I don't want to add more games to the regular schedule. Just leave it the way it is. Stop screwing around with everything, will you?
Exactly.
Stop screwing around with everything. I'm getting sick and tired of that crap. Leave the things alone. You know?
Yeah.
Leave everything the way it is, man. Why do you got to mess with things?
You know, like I said, Roger Goodell is turning it into his own thing. You know, the National Flag Football League, and it's getting to be very, very ugly.
It is.
And I can agree with Mark Cuban that if they continue to make changes, you're going to start seeing, like I said, the decline in the NFL big time.
I'm starting to get tired of all the crap that's going on, to tell you the truth. I really am. I'm starting to get tired of all the crap that's going on. I hate it.
Yep.
You know, it's got to stop sooner or later, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's got to stop somewhere, and because he's making the game not become very, very important. He's not making it become very, very popular. And, yeah, and even like Frank said, that the NFL very well could be decline. There could be a big decline in it in 5 years.
Well, that's whatchamacallit saying that.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. What is he, got a crystal freaking ball? We don't know what's going to happen neither, does he?
No, we don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. So shut up, Mark Cuban.
Sad news to talk about right here. Dominique Wilkins. Okay, hopes young fans take the time to learn about Lou Hudson. Hudson, Jeff, you are a big basketball fan. He passed away today at the age of 69. What's your thoughts about that?
I saw that. He was a good ball player. I didn't see him play much, but he was a good ball player.
He was a good basketball player.
Good ball player. I didn't get to see much of him play, but a good ball player. Man, it's starting to warm up in here again. Gets hot in here, man. Gets hot in here with the quickness, my friends.
Yeah, you know, so great player, and he did a great. Lou Hudson was 69, and of course he died in Atlanta, where he was hospitalized and listed in grave condition last month after a stroke. Hudson was a 6-time All-Star with the Hawks in St. Louis and Atlanta, often playing away from the national spotlight.
Yeah, he played down in Atlanta, you know, so you didn't really hear too much about him, but he was a good ball player.
Very good.
You know, very good. Sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou. Does your dad remember him very well?
My dad don't remember anything very well.
Well, I just wasn't sure because, you know, he was around and he remembered the basketball player really well.
Yeah, see, he played against Kareem and those guys. He played back in those days. You know?
Yeah, beginning with the 1969-70 season.
Right.
Hudson averaged at least 24 points in 5 straight seasons.
Right.
In his years with the Hawks, he averaged at least 20 points 7 times. He set a career high with 27.1 points per game in 1972-1973 NBA season.
And you know what I like about what Dominique Wilkins says? His jersey's not retired for nothing. There's only 3 jerseys where the Atlanta Hawks play that are up. So you know he had to be a heck of a player to have his jersey hanging in that building.
Yep.
And his number 14 was retired by the University of Minnesota where he played. And he was one of the school's first black players at the University of Minnesota. How about that?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. He had an outstanding career, and he did great.
Yeah, his number 23 is hanging inside the Phillips Arena.
Yeah, Phillips Arena. And remember, the Hawks had some of those great teams that they had back in those days. And, you know, Lou was a great basketball player.
He scored his first points for the new Atlanta team in 1968.
Yep.
And he helped the Hawks to a 1970 Western Western Division championship. Back then, they were in the Western Division. How about that?
He scored 57 points against Chicago on November 10th, 1969, matching the franchise record, also set by Pettit and Wilkins.
He's a good ball player, man. Really a good ball player. Yeah, and those, and you want to know something? Those are the only 3 jerseys that hang in the Phillips Arena. Is Bob Pettit's, Dominique Wilkins, and Mr. Freaking Lou Hudson, Sweet Lou. Those are the only 3 that hang up there. How about that? That says something right there.
Pretty incredible.
He should be a Hall of Famer, this guy, but he's not. He was a 6-time All-Star, man. So, hopefully, one of these days. Probably now that he passed away, he'll get in.
The next story I got, Jeff, is Duke freshman star Jabari Parker said Friday he still hasn't decided whether he will enter the NBA draft and will meet with coach Mike Krzyzewski next week to discuss the situation. What do you think?
What is he, a sophomore or a freshman?
He is a freshman star.
No, I think he should stay one more year. I personally, my personal opinion, all students should play through freshman and sophomore years. At least 2 years they should play in college, minimum. Personally, I would love to see him stay 3 to 4 years.
And that's the thing, too, because there's a lot of players that they go from freshmen and they feel like, okay, we went here to college. We did well with our program. We played college basketball. Now I'm going to go into the NBA draft. I agree. I think you should stay maybe 2 or 3 years in school. Take a lot of courses and get through education before you can get into the NBA.
A lot of the college players.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the college players that go and say I'm going to go into the draft and I'm going to go into the NBA, don't make it, man.
They don't.
Don't make it. They don't make the NBA. Where else are they going to go and play? Overseas. That's about it. Overseas or the NBA D-League. Those are your 2 choices, man. Go play professional overseas or go play in the NBA D-League to get recognized. Okay, not everybody. I'm telling you, not everybody that gets drafted makes it.
Not everybody does. And some even players who get drafted in the NBA can also feel like, okay, they're going to do great, and then they can turn into bust.
It's just like here. Here's a great example. The person that wins the Heisman Trophy don't always make for a great an NFL player. Not every NFL player that gets drafted makes it. Not every NBA player that gets drafted makes it. It's just the nature of the beast, man.
Yeah.
And I hate to tell you, but if you don't get drafted in the first round in the NBA, because there's only 2 rounds, most of the time, if you get drafted in the second round, you never make it as an NBA player.
Yeah, that is true. And it's like sometimes it works for players who come out of college to the NBA, and some don't.
I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, but 95% of the time, that's the way it is. 95% of the time. You agree with that, Sean?
I agree with that. And I think what's important to keep in mind is that if he's smart enough, he meets with Coach K and he says, what should I decide to do? If I'm Coach K, I come up to him and say, look, I'd like you to play ball with me for another year. I think it's a smart thing to do. Stay there, get as much education, learn from Coach K. Don't come into the NBA when you've only been there as a freshman. It's not going to work out well.
Now that the Masters is over, it's official. Phil has missed the cut.
Wow.
How about that? First time ever. Wow. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Holy cannoli, Batman. Oh, well. Hey, we got another update to get to. What do you say we get to that update? Take it away, Sean, man, with the second and final update of the day.
Welcome to the final update for Sports World Radio. We are 28 minutes past the hour. Let's get everybody caught up on what's going on in Major League Baseball and the National League right now. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Phillies have a 2-0 lead against the Miami Marlins. Interleague play going on right now. The Rays, they have struck for a run. They lead 1-0 against the Cincinnati Reds. It's the bottom of the first inning. The Washington Nationals are at the Atlanta Braves. These are the games that'll be coming up here soon. Pittsburgh Pirates at the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs, the Chicago Cubs at the St. Louis Cardinals. Los Angeles Dodgers at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Interleague play tonight, the late game. We've got the Detroit Tigers at the San Diego Padres. And the late game tonight, National League, the Colorado Rockies are at the San Francisco Giants. Switching to the American League, it is the bottom of the second inning. The Boston Red Sox at the New York Yankees. Right now, that game is scoreless. Another game that is scoreless, bottom second, the Toronto Blue Jays at the Baltimore Orioles at Oriole Park in Baltimore, 0-0. The Houston Astros taking on the Texas Rangers tonight. The Cleveland Indians at the Chicago White Sox. Kansas City Royals at the Minnesota Twins. How about this interleague play matchup, Jeff? The New York Mets at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And the other late game that we got, the Oakland Athletics at the Seattle Mariners. So this covers baseball on this Friday night. We move into the NBA right now. Here's what we got going on. Got the Orlando Magic and the Wizards. Right now it's 23-14 Magic. The Knicks and the Raptors up in Toronto, Ontario. The Knicks lead 21-17. We have other games to get to. The Bobcats at the Celtics, Hawks at the Nets, Pacers at the Heat, Pistons at Bulls, 76ers at Grizzlies, Rockets at the Timberwolves, Pelicans at Thunder, Cavaliers at Bucks, Suns at Spurs, Trailblazers at Jazz, and the Warriors at the Lakers. In the NHL, National Hockey League, here's what we got for tonight. 7 games right now on the NBC Sports Network. The Capitals lead the Blackhawks 2-0. 8 minutes and 24 seconds left in the first period. Other games we get to. You got the Hurricanes at the Red Wings, Blue Jackets at the Lightning, Islanders at the Devils, Blues at the Stars, Jets at Flames, and the Avalanche at the Sharks. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howells say at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff S. Sean Mann here, giving you the best of 2 hours sports talk each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here at 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central, Sean?
Figure it out for yourself.
The hell's the matter with you?
I was on mute.
Well, see, that happens when you press the mute button down and you keep talking and you forget to unmute yourself.
Yeah. I know. I had it on mute. I forgot to push the button.
So you were just sitting there just talking to yourself with nobody listening. Right?
Well,
basically,
it's not a big deal.
Basically, right? Right?
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, actually.
Very funny, indeed.
It is kind of funny, man, if you think about it.
Yeah.
What do you got for me next?
Okay, the next story I have coming up for you, we were talking about the, let's see, for what the Encyclopedia Man has for me here. As you all know, in Major League Baseball, the, of course, Watson seizes the lead. Mickelson is out right now. That just came up because Jeff and I were talking about that during commercial break, and we were talking about that for the show. So, Jeff, what do you think about Mickelson being out?
First time in 17 years. No Tiger, no Mickelson. It's kind of shocker. But his back has been killing him. He's been having some problems. So, when Bubba Watson's leading right now, he won it 2 years ago. Adam Scott is in third place. He's the defending champ. Nobody's won it back-to-back for quite a while. It could be kind of interesting.
It could be, and I don't know now who to pick. I had Phil Mickelson favored to win this, and now Mickelson was 12 shots behind leader Bubba Watson.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, he missed the cut for the first time, so maybe he'll go home, take some time, take a little break, and fix his back and spend some time with his family.
Yeah, and then Tiger Woods will be healed up, and yeah, you're right, Mickelson too. So the only time in 22 Masters appearances that Mickelson missed the cut was in '97. His 16 consecutive cuts made was one behind the 17 straight made by Tiger Woods, who is missing the tournament due to what we call the injury.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the first time since '94 when neither player was in the tournament that both Woods and Mickelson will be missing from a Masters weekend.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool. The young people are taking over, man.
Yeah.
Young people are just taking over the golf tournament right now.
Yep.
So, there's 24 first-timers in the golf tournament, and the average age is 24, I believe it is, 23, 24 years old. The average age of the golfers in the tournament. Okay? And then you got Mr. Freddie Couples, who's sitting 5 off the lead. He's on the first page of the tournament. He's in 7th. He's tied, he's tied for 7th. He's 5 off the lead. So, that, going to be interesting to see the weekend. Saturday in the golfing world, they call it moving day. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens during moving day. And then Sunday, boom. It'll be a lot of fun to watch. I'm going to be watching the whole thing. Comes on at 12 o'clock my time on tomorrow and 11 o'clock on Sunday. I'll be watching the whole kit and caboodle.
Be real interesting to see what happens now. But don't you think it's kind of odd that you'd think that first time in 20 years you don't see a Woods or a Mickelson in the Masters?
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? It's starting to become a young man's game. It's starting to become a young man's game because a lot of the famous golfers, they're getting older, and a lot of these young players are starting to become up and coming and getting noticed.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to and I believe in the next several years you're not even gonna miss Tiger. I don't even miss him in the tournament right now, to tell you the truth.
Well, you can't stand Tiger Woods.
Well, yeah, but not that, but I don't miss him not being in the tournament. Not at all.
Well, Tiger, like I've always said, his career went down a lot after the trouble he got himself into.
Let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Bubba Watson, John Senden, Adam Scott, Jonas Blix, Thomas Bjorn, Jordan Spieth, Jimmy Walker, Fred Couples, and Jim Furyk. How many of those names do you recognize?
None.
You're kidding me.
Well, Jeff, I don't watch a lot of golf.
Okay. As a golf fan myself, I know Bubba Watson, I've heard Adam Scott, Thomas Bjorn, Fred Couples, and Jim Furyk. Jimmy Walker, Jordan Spieth, and Jonas Blix, and even John Senden a little bit. I've never heard of Blix and Spieth and Walker. Senden I've had, but those other three guys I haven't. And they're in the top 7. All those names I read are the top 7 in the Masters right now. So a lot of young fellas, man. A lot of look, Jamie Donaldson, Russell Henley, Kevin Streelman. My man Matt Kuchar is in 15th. That was my pick, so he's even. So he's 7 strokes behind. So a lot of things are going to change tomorrow because those greens are going to get lightning fast tomorrow. It's going to be lightning fast greens tomorrow. You can already see it starting to happen today near the end of the day. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how people hold on and see who moves up. It's moving day tomorrow at the Masters, so I'm going to be looking forward to watching it. Next topic.
Yeah, it should be an interesting weekend, and like out of all the Masters that you've watched, they're always great to watch because everybody's going for that green jacket.
You betcha. You betcha.
It's one of the biggest golf tournaments ever. For the Masters,
that's
and
the
then you got
coveted
the
prize.
U.S. Open in a few months.
That's the coveted prize, the green jacket. And the winner from last year puts it on the new winner from this year. That's how they do it every year. Yeah, that's how they do it. What do you got for me next, my friend?
Okay, we were talking about the NBA story about Coach K and the Jabari Parker in the NBA.
He shouldn't go, man. He shouldn't go.
The Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade out against the Pacers. This one just came in.
Well, he's been out for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be out again. He'll miss his 9th straight game against the Indiana Pacers. And as anybody who's a Heat fan, I would still be concerned about your team. You just got swept in the season series against Brooklyn. You're playing Miami, a team that you want to actually, you're playing Indiana, a team you want to hold off for that number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. If I am the Heat, I can be a bit concerned because this is the last big run, I think, of the big 3 in Miami. I really do, because there will be a lot of changes that Pat Riley will have to deal with after this year gets over with.
Miami and Indiana are playing tonight, correct?
Yeah, huge game in the Eastern Conference.
And Dwayne Wade is out, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I understand why they're sitting Dwayne Wade out, getting him ready for the playoffs. I don't have a problem with that. Okay, and even if Miami doesn't win the number 1 spot, it's not going to matter. It's not that important to Miami. It's more important to Indiana than it is to Miami. So I believe if Indiana doesn't win the number 1 spot, I think that screws with their psyche a little bit.
Well, why do you think I took Indiana out? Because the fact is, I thought a couple weeks ago that, okay, this was a lock for Indiana. When they beat Miami on a Wednesday night on ESPN, they held them off. I thought, well, I said, Indiana, it looks like they've got number 1 seed wrapped up. You never would have thought that they could have been playing so bad like this, the Pacers have, because the Pacers were in possession to getting that number 1 seed. And I was like thinking, okay, it looks like there's a team that probably is going to overtake Miami for the Eastern Conference. If you're going to get past the Heat, and if you want that number 1 seed, you have to overtake them. Otherwise, if you give Miami that number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, it'll be very tough for anybody to beat them in Miami.
Yeah, but I don't think I think it's more important to Indiana than it is to Miami, because I think Miami can do it without the number 1 seed, where I don't think Indiana can.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, I don't want to see Miami in there. I'm tired of watching them play in the NBA Finals. Anybody else in the East is fine with me.
Well, everybody else except Miami and Indiana, when the playoffs start a week from tomorrow, everybody knows it's going to be Indiana and Miami, so it doesn't mean a hill of beans. The only thing that's going to matter the most will be that Western Conference, because the Western Conference
It's up for grabs.
Yeah, is up for grabs, and there's going to be a lot of battling going on when the NBA playoff brackets come out and figuring out who's going to be the better team.
Yeah, it's just up for grabs. It's going to be an interesting thing to watch, man.
And you know, you're picking San Antonio. Since we gave our elimination pick, I'm picking OKC.
Right.
And pretty much we know very well that those two teams could match up, but it's loaded. The Western Conference is so powerful than the Eastern Conference.
Josh is saying that his Bulls can beat Indiana.
Josh, I disagree with you. I don't think your Bulls will be able to beat Indiana. I think Chicago is going to have a very tough time trying to beat them. The Pacers will be fine, but you're right, Jeff. If Indiana loses this game tonight to Miami, and I'm kind of disappointed because it's not a nationally televised game. They have it on NBA TV. I don't know why.
That's ridiculous.
Then Indiana is in trouble, and then they choked it away because they had, what was it, like a couple weeks ago, they had like a 3.5-game lead, and then they just let Miami hang and hang and hang.
See,
Pacers need this game more than the Heat.
I don't even think Chicago can get past their first-round team, which I think will end up to be Brooklyn. I think if the playoffs started today, they would play Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, let's see. I'm looking at the standings right now in the NBA, and Brooklyn, they have played so well after their slow and disastrous start. If Chicago played today for the playoffs, they would open up against Brooklyn.
Yeah, they would open up against Brooklyn, and I don't even think they'd get past Brooklyn. How crazy is that?
Yeah, and you got to be proud of the fact that 3 through 7 have winning records. It's that 8th spot that everybody will be having their eye on. And on that note, we got to get to the final commercial break.
Sports World Radio.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too. Don't wait until it's too late.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to the final segment of the show. That's right. I said final segment. We've been going for 2 hours here at Sports World Radio, having a lot of fun, Talking a lot of sports here. We went to the break, Sean. We were talking about.
Right before we go into the break for our final segment, we were talking about the NBA playoff situation.
Right. Now, let me ask you a question. We also have to do our Rap Bastard of the Week this week.
Yes.
Okay? And you said to me several times while we were on hold, I said, you got any candidates? And he goes, no. I go, what do you mean, no? So,
I couldn't think of any, really.
I couldn't think of any, really. There should be a bunch of them out there. Right?
Yeah.
Anybody, you know where's a good place to go and look for candidates for the Rap Bastard of the Week? You know where's a good place to go?
Where?
TMZ.
Oh.
But they're you know what? Before you go to TMZ, after you go to TMZ, you got to check several other sources because these sons of bitches aren't always right.
That is true.
Most of the time they're wrong. Right?
Right.
Most of the time they're wrong. Now, there's a lot of things going on with Colin Kaepernick. But I want to wait. I want to wait and reserve my thoughts until I hear all the facts. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait, and we're going to talk about this probably on Monday because we'll hear more facts about it after the fact. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we need a couple of candidates for the Rap Bastard of the Week, or at least one, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're having a little problem getting them this time, aren't we? You don't have
we're
anybody.
having a little trouble with that. We'll get it fixed, though.
Anybody get arrested this week?
Not that I know of.
You know? I was reading an article the other day. You know, man. I was reading an article the other day that was a nasty article, and I can't remember if I saved it or not. I don't remember. We might not have a Rap Bastard candidate this week because it's kind of tough to figure one out on the fly, ain't it?
Yeah.
I'd like to give it to Bud Selig. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to the umpiring staff at the Yankee-Boston game last night.
Okay. So, umpiring staff.
Yeah, for not making the call whether they're allowed to or not. How about Mike Schmidt proposes MLB use of force field to call balls and strikes instead of umpires?
Yeah, I saw that.
You like that? A force field. May the force be with you.
There you go.
Instead of umpires. Well, you still need the umpires to say whether it's fair or foul or safe or out. You know what I'm saying? At home. But take him out and just use a force field. Just put it right around. And if it's a strike, it goes ding. How about that? Would you like to see that? Would that move the game faster?
It would.
Yeah? Would that be better than making the game 7 innings long or what?
It would make the game a lot better,
7
no
innings.
Question about it.
7 innings. You freaking kidding
the
me.
MLB executive says, no, let's move MLB games to 7 innings instead of 9 innings.
No, let's get rid of freaking Roger Goodell. Let's get rid of freaking Bud Selig.
Because Jeff is tired of Bud Selig. He has been.
I'm tired of them all. I'm tired of them all, and it's so damn hot in here. And you know what? It's Friday. We're getting out of here a little bit early today, if that's okay with you folks. I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. Have a great sports weekend. Watch the Masters. Have a lot of fun. Do whatever the heck you want. Remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. Peace out, everybody. Have a great weekend. For Sean Mann, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio.
Peace.
Hey, boys, Dimpy. We sure had fun today, didn't we? So So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over.